Excuse me, I was just petting my dog. Today, this is GORP. Today we're talking about dogs. GORP stands for Good Old Reliable Pups. That was an accent. My name is Josh. Welcome to GORP.
Hi, I'm Brooke. This is
Hey,
Ranger or George.
Ranger or George.
Ranger or George, and I'm Fry. For the listening audience, Brooke, why don't you? I got you, Josh. I got you. You're dealing with something. Brooke, for the listening audience, listening on the podcast, why don't you describe Ranger George to everyone?
Oh, he is a black German Shepherd, and he's got a little white on his snoot.
Ooh, good boy. All right, Josh, as you struggle with Avalanche, you want to describe Avalanche?
It's not really a struggle. It's just I have to keep petting him or he will leave me. That's the deal. That's how it goes. It's in his contract, dog. This is Avalanche. He's the best boy. I got him on COVID, like the first day of COVID. And I think he wants to leave. But he's just that big old husky, likes to run around. So sweet, wants to get on everyone's lap, and he loves a Slim Jim.
What's he look like? Why would his name be Avalanche?
Oh, because he's all white. Oh, yeah, listening audience. I'm sorry. He's a husky. He's white. He's got ice blue eyes and a pink nose, which I think is rare, but maybe he's just a different breed I'm not sure of. I still haven't taken the DNA test. That's sitting right next to me. It's right over there. For him, not me.
One of those dads.
Yeah.
You're taking this DNA test, boy.
Well, I'd like to know because, I mean, I got him for free, but someone paid $500 for him. I'm the second owner.
Okay.
The first owner kept him in a cage.
Like a degenerate.
Yeah, didn't know how. But it was his first puppy. Didn't know what a puppy did.
Well, this is Moxie. A little bit later, you're going to see Spartacus. Moxie is a Min Pin Chihuahua mix. She used to be gold and black, and because she's an old lady, she's got a lot of gray in her beard now.
Yeah.
And she is panting like crazy because she is ready to get out of this image.
Oh, that's okay. Let her down.
She'd be a good girl. So what are we gonna do? Are we talking about these suckers?
Yeah. We're talking about our pups. I think are going to be the stars of the show, but I think we might take a few little diversions into other pups and puppy powers and Scrappy Doo. Maybe the worst dog ever.
Scrappy Dappy Doo.
Maybe. But yeah, we're going freeform today. We're not going to use a receptacle because puppies are the prop today, and there they are, looking so cute. So, like, in the spirit of trying something new, we're just going to talk like a regular podcast today about dogs.
Yeah.
No grab bag today. So I guess we can start with just give me your dog's resume real quick. I know we did the elevator pitch, but like the bullet point EPR or whatever for getting that dog recognized.
Okay. Go ahead, Brooke. You go ahead and start because you were talking right as he jumped in.
Ranger, I call him George most of the time, and that's because he ran into a tree once while he was chasing a ball. So he's George of the jungle, strong as he can be. Watch out for that tree. He is security. He's on patrol most days of the house. He loves a good corner. He likes to sit with his butt in the corner so he can watch everything that's going on. He is so good at playing fetch. He loves the frisbee and the ball.
Frisbee and the ball.
And that's my George.
Nice.
How did you get George?
When I got out of the military, my dad said either you got to get some guns or you got to get a dog. And I said, mental health can't handle a gun, so let's get a dog. And I wanted something kind of big and scary, living alone.
Menacing.
And I got him.
That's great. Such a noble beast.
Yeah.
Ooh, a noble beast.
Tell us of Spartacus, please tell.
Well, this is Moxie. We'll get to Spartacus in a bit.
Forgot.
Moxie is a pound puppy, and actually my wife Anna is the one that picked out Moxie, and somehow along the way her and I just like I used to hate this dog so much because she would always get into all my stuff. And now her and I are like besties. And she just is always around me. She wakes me up every morning. She's only $26. Her owners abandoned her. That's why she was a pound puppy, because she was a new drop off. And whenever you have a new drop off, the vet or the pound has to call the people on the chip, and they have 30 days to come pick her up. And they never picked her up when she was 1 year old. So Anna got her little itty bitty Moxie, who is a big old chubbers. She's a plumpers, if you can see it. If you're listening, she's got a big of a belly, because the one thing that I know of this dog was she would be happy to die if she could eat herself there. Like if she could just eat her way right to death, she would absolutely do it.
That's great.
Oh, she's smiling for the camera and everything. She's so cute.
I know.
She has those like little baby licks, you know, like the really soft tongue dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So Josh, I know Brooke was the one that brought up the no guns because of mental health, so she went with the dog. But I know you, after getting out of the military, went through your fair share of mental health issues, things that you were working on with yourself. Do you feel like Avalanche really helps you with that? Because I think that my dog, I think this new pet therapy thing and the Dogs for Soldiers thing, I think it's a great idea, because I do think my dog does like look at me like, yo, dude, like you need to calm your shit right now. Like you're you know, without even saying words.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And honestly, I've always known I wanted a dog, but in the military, I never really had a way to keep a dog. I don't know. I didn't feel like I could keep a dog, is what I'm trying to say. And then after the service, when I got in a more stable environment, I still felt like I'm not ready for that yet. So he got dropped on me. I didn't want a dog. I specifically have always said I would never have a husky because it's too much. It's just too much, people say. So what happened was I got drunk one night and with my buddy, and he's got this dog running around. And so now we're drunk, and he's like, "You want it?" And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I woke up the next day and I'm like, fuck. All right. So now I got this dog. It's a husky, and he's 6 months old, 7 months old, and just running all over the place, tearing everything up. It was hard work, but now he's about 3.5. He's just super chill. He can match my attitude. He tells me when, like, no, we're getting up, dude. It's time to get up. I know that's every dog does that, but like, he has so much energy. He doesn't really let you chill in a good way. Like he likes to hang out, and he wants to get on everyone's lap and, you know, just chill out. But when it's time to get up, it's time. We're going. And when you don't listen to him, sometimes he runs away. he figures out a way. He figures out a way to get out and go run. But he just wants to run.
You're not my real dad.
He's a working dog, and he has to run. So when I'm negligent, like I don't walk him enough, he gets a walk every day, but like he probably needs 2. And he always comes back though. He always comes back, and he's like happy. He didn't feel like he's in trouble, and he's not. Like, okay, you're back. I'm glad you're not dead. I just had a heart attack for a while, and you're covered in poop now, so whatever. Anyway, kind of a tangent there, but the point is, he's really helped my mental health and keeping myself in check, and like kind of like reading his mood and knowing it matches mine. I know when he's stressed, so then it means I need to calm down. He really has changed my world. Absolutely necessary.
I think something for me with when I got Ranger, having somebody to take care of, like having that thing that I have to take care of other than myself every day, it's kept me alive. There have been very, very dark spots throughout my depression, like, and I've contemplated killing myself or whatever, and I'm like, but Ranger, so I can't do that. And that maybe is not the way to go about life, like putting your life on the line for this one person or thing. But I'm glad that I had him in those moments, because
well said.
I can't say that I know that I would be here without him.
And it's like he knows, right? It's like the dog knows when you're going through it, and they just it's almost like a sixth sense for a dog, where they're like, all right, I need to cuddle you right now because you're clearly going through something.
so this last little bout of depression that I'm going through, I've been crying so much. I've been crying so much that he's sick of it. He would like usually comfort me. Now he just goes into the other room. He's like, "Oh, we're doing this again," and he will leave the room. So I think I need to stop like being so depressed. Maybe it's time.
Maybe he's sending you like a signal, like, all right, it's time for us to get up and go through this new doorway.
He'll, like, even huff. You know how dogs like he'll like find his little spot in the other room, and then he'll do it so loud that I hear him in here, and I'm like, and he's like, here we go.
Just sticks out a paw for you. Here, just take my paw. They're not doing the whole hug thing, but you get a paw.
He's not giving me a paw anymore.
Not
He's
even
like
a
in the
paw.
other room. Jeez, let it go.
Wake me up when there's food.
Yep.
That's a shirt.
I dig what you said about the growing up piece, Brooke, because I will say a lot of raising the dogs, training the dogs, learning to care for a living thing, like forces you to mature, to like learn how to take care of other living things and how to treat other living things and how to treat yourself in some ways, right? Anna spoils the hell out of the dogs. I will say that. Like, she spoils them. She buys them, like, she gets frozen treats shipped in, like, that are like real meat treats for dogs, and like chicken hearts shipped to our door, and all kinds of stuff, and only the finest feast.
Only the finest for our puppies.
But she gets like they now have special puppy peanut butter that she found for them today when we were out shopping. So it's like literally on the peanut butter it says made for dogs, and I'm kind of like, I really want to know what the difference is. I know this is just marketing.
Oh,
I know it is.
You gotta taste it, dog. Have you tasted it yet?
You know what's funny is like dog food, sorry to go off track from our pets episode, but like dog food in a zombie apocalypse I think would be like a commodity, like in a zombie apocalypse.
Have you ever looked at how much protein is in dog food?
Yeah, and like all the
It's
gravies
insane.
and rices and carrots and stuff that's in it.
It's a commodity now in the projects.
That was weird. I didn't want to go there. That was a weird.
Well,
I'm
just saying, it's a serious issue.
I didn't know you were gonna write a Wyclef song with my dog food.
Yeah, I had a good time here on the GORP show. Let's get back to those puppies.
So we talked a little bit about as an adult. What about your youth? Like, what about in your young life? Well, did you guys have dogs or animals in your youth?
Oh yeah, I had a really good one. Bo was his name, and he was a boxer and half Shar-Pei, but only Shar-Pei face. He had wrinkle face, and he was a full boxer. Like, we got him full grown. He just had to change homes, and he was trained like professionally. So like when we got him, it was my dad's dog. He said Bo wouldn't leave the kitchen. He would sit in the kitchen like threshold and stare at Dad in the living room. And it took a long time just to break him of that. Like, you can come in here too. So he was that trained, really well trained dog. What I always liked about him, I mean, he was a great dog, all this stuff. His farts were room clearing, no joke. But what was really cool about him, it was like, you get mad, like, oh, come on! Like, it was bad. But he would go to events like my baseball games or whatever. My dad's got the dog. And the dog would just he's sitting next to Dad. And like kids would just run up to him like crazy people and just start yanking on his face because he's so wrinkly. And he was so well trained, he just took it. Like, like what would scare and make my dog bite some kid, which I'm sure wouldn't take much, but I don't want to test it. I try to just keep kids away from my dog because I don't want to test it.
Same.
Anyway, that was Bo. He was cool.
We had a couple different dogs growing up. The first one, when I was just a baby, like from baby to 3 or 4 years old, my dad had a German Shepherd Wolf mix, and his name was
Lobo.
Giant. He was huge. He was like 110 pounds, and he was a mostly outside dog, and my dad had this dog so trained he knew that he could only eat out of my dad's left hand. So like if somebody handed him a steak out of their right hand, he wouldn't eat it. Like that's
awesome.
how trained that dog was.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, Lobo got loose one day, and we lived in a very rural area, and we think that the farmer down the road shot him because he ate one of his sheep. So Lobo went missing. We never saw him ever again.
Wow.
And we're pretty sure that's what happened to him.
Why do we keep going down these dark paths?
I mean, it's every dog dies.
That's very true. Every dog does die. That farmer's an asshole, though.
Yeah. My dad said if that man, he found it out when the farmer was like 80 years old, and he said if I had found this out when this happened, I would have kicked his ass for it. Like, yeah. For not even like telling us. Like,
yeah,
it's one thing to protect your farm from a coyote or maybe mistake this dog because it did look like a wolf or a coyote, and then to say something but to not say anything at all, that's pretty messed up.
For true.
But probably my childhood favorite dog, her name was Lola. And,
her name was Lola.
Yeah, and she was like, I don't know if she had husky in her, but she had blue eyes, and then she had like spots. And she was just, we rescued her. She was probably like 3 or 4 by the time we got her, and she was such a good dog. She was so good. She would fall asleep with my mom downstairs, and then she would come up and sleep in my bed in the morning, and then before my mom would wake up, she'd go back downstairs, and my mom would wake up with her in the bed. And I just thought that was so funny that she, I don't know, had to show everybody that she loved them. And then, I don't know, I just thought that was so cute. Because my mom would be like, oh, she sleeps with me every night. I was like, no, she comes and she sleeps with me. And then she goes back down before you wake up.
It's like one of those memories that will stick with you forever. Like, no matter what, you'll always remember that.
And I always had I had this like pink bedspread, and she would get like staticky, and all these like little electricity bits would come off, and it like every night that would happen.
And you just see the little orange sparks shooting up from the wow, I've got doggy fur all over. That's what this is. But you'd see like the little fireworks because you were on that Katy Perry with your pup from the static electricity.
You're right.
For me, I grew up with dogs my whole life. Like, I knew I was going to get a dog the moment I could get a dog because I've always had a dog in my life at some point in time, whether it be a grandfather's dog, Peppy. We had my great grandfather had Peppy 1, Peppy 2, Peppy 3. I met 3 Peppies, 3 different
That's perfect.
Peppies.
That's awesome.
That was his name every time. He the last Peppy was a Pomeranian, and that became my dog. He left him to me in the will, so I had that dog for a while. I had a young lady. It was a Cairn Terrier named Missy, who lived to be almost like 20 years old, I want to say. She was my mom's dog, and she was around forever. And then I ran into a guy you're gonna meet here in a bit, Spartacus, at the Humane Society, and I adopted him because of that. Yeah, so I grew up with dogs forever. Like, I'm more scared of humans than I am of dogs. Like, whenever people are like, oh, it's a scary dog, I'm like, man, I'm more scared of the owner, you, than that dog. Like, I know how to handle that dog.
Human world out there.
I meant like eating crazy or funny, but yeah, the reason I ask is, do you feel like your mommy instinct kicked in with your dog? Like, absolutely. Where you... Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately went into mom mode.
Yeah, and I understand the dynamics of myself and then other people when dogs are around. Ranger knows that I'm the alpha. Ranger understands that in most rooms, I'm top dog. He gets it. I don't know how else to describe it. And so in that moment, I think he knew, like, I'm the one that's going to save him from that. It's not going to be anybody that's maybe bigger than me. It's going to be me. It's so, I don't know. That's kind of a ramble, but yeah.
No, I dug it. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, just, I've always been leery of dogs, just in case. You know, you never know what's going to happen around a strange dog, so you just be careful. But ever since I've had a dog, like in my first marriage, I inherited a dog for a while, and I loved him to death. Harvey, shout out. But ever since then, my protective mode kicked in, and I realized I would kill with my bare hands any dog that tried to attack my dog.
Yeah.
And so from then on, I've kind of just had this mentality. Well, it's probably not true. I know that I can kill any dog with my bare hands now because of my protective instinct for.
Okay, I like that.
If I have to protect my animal, so I'm not. My motherhood gene kicked in so hard that I've given myself dreams of grandeur. Yeah,
delusions of grandeur.
Delusions of grandeur. You're on the GORP show.
Yeah, I mean, like we, if we stay on this path or whatever,
let's not talk about killing dogs anymore.
Yeah, the Spartacus was attacked by a pit bull. And, like, that's when I knew, like, I realized, okay, this dog is tough as shit. Like, this is the toughest dog because it was $5,000 in vet bills. It was. But the dog, like, I'm not going to give you all the gory details. It was a bat. He lost. But, crazy story, when we had Moxie, when she was a puppy, like, she did not listen. When she was a year old. Like, we were training her, we were trying to get her to listen, and we're sitting at the Taco Bell drive-thru, and Anna is holding Moxie, and out of nowhere, Moxie just jumps out of Anna's arms out of the passenger window. Like, on the busiest street in the area. Like, the busiest street. I don't know if you remember, Josh, but it's a street called, and for our Albuquerque, New Mexico listeners, it's a street called Eubank. All right? Eubank Boulevard, where the big Walmart is. There's a Taco Bell there, and our dog just jumps out of her arms. And Anna's like, what the hell just happened? And I was like, go get her. And Anna, like, swings open the door and goes running. And Moxie's about to bolt across the busy intersection. And Anna just at the top of her lungs is like, Moxie! You know? And she's like, I guess Moxie, like, knew with the tone and the shriek in Anna's voice, like, oh, I'm in trouble. And she, like, laid down and, like, piddled herself just from the yell. Yeah, just laid down and, like, rolled over like, I messed up. I took this joke too far. I've gone too far here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of something similar happened. I was walking Ranger on the busy street that I live on, and we were coming home from a decently long walk, and this pit bull comes out from a neighbor yard. They don't have any chain on; they're just loose. And I didn't know I've never seen this dog before. They were coming to me and Ranger, so I had Ranger sit. I stood in front of him, and I just, like, in my deepest, like, most authoritative voice, I said, go home to this dog. And it, like, just turned around and left. And it was, like, I don't know, it was coming up on, like, 6 foot away. And I was like, like, what am I going to do? And I couldn't believe that this dog just turned around and left. I was like, oh, thank God, because that could have been bad.
Wow, that's powerful.
Absolutely.
Catch the spell.
Yeah. Oh, get away from my baby.
I tell people all the time when they come to my house, if they're like, if they say anything about dogs, they don't like dogs, I always say, like, I have one thing that I say, I'm like, look, I don't know a lot, but I know one thing. I like those dogs more than I like you. And I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care how important you are to me. I guarantee you, I like those dogs more than I like you.
Yeah,
like, it is 100% a fact.
That's just what happens. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Getting more on
I think everybody should be cautious of folks who don't like pets or animals.
Oh yeah, that's a big flag. Like, what do you mean? You don't like?
What do you mean I should get rid of one of my dogs? What do you mean I should get rid of my second dog? What?
Yeah.
You want me to get rid of my pets because of you?
The dog. We have to keep the dog, you dummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I dropped $4,000 for these dogs to fly to England.
Yeah,
you know, like there's not a chance in hell the dogs were staying behind. They were. I was like, I will figure it out. They will get there. I don't care how. If I have to learn how to fly a biplane from World War II, the dogs will get there.
Yeah, and of course, obviously, grain of salt. Like, sometimes some things have to happen. But that's
Yes.
different. That's different, and a very difficult decisions people have to make. Sometimes it has to happen.
Yeah.
However,
Right.
that's a big sometimes, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. But more on crazy story. I was just thinking of an old basset hound my dad used to have. Used to live there right after the military with the basset hound, and Bonnie had the ability to find the food. She found it. There is
anyway.
You better not like countertops. It was a big old fat basset hound, but had the reach and the best. Like I think it's the second best nose in the animal or in the dog kingdom. I think the only thing better is a bloodhound, but basset hound. They're gonna find it, and countertops were not safe. One time, I brought at the time she was my fiance over for some Chipotle. We brought Chipotle over, and we just put it on the key table by the door, like 5 feet high. It's a high key table, or 4 feet high, excuse me. And the dog, we went outside to smoke, and the dog got the whole burrito in about 3 minutes. Got the whole burrito,
swallowed
ate
it
the
whole.
whole burrito. No foil, dog.
Oh no!
Like the foil was gone.
Yep.
It was amazing. It's really incredible, like a ninja. It's really incredible. Anyway,
I love bassets and their big long ears. And
they're
how
so
they like
cute,
dip
and they
into
got
the water.
Yeah.
And they gotta like shake their head with it too.
Yeah.
Like kind of they're sassy with their ears.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like their hair, you know.
And they walk so slow. They hit. Beep, boop, 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 boop. They're known to.
They got those big old cankles too. Those cankles.
They're actually. Oh yeah, like the puppy feet that they just never grow out of. They're known to just like if you're not paying attention, they'll just start smelling and sniffing and walk, and they'll start doing it and just keep sniffing for so long they won't know where they are, and that happens often for basset hounds.
When I first got the Beagle Gunther, Ranger got loose and had ran all over town, and I was like, okay, Gunther, where's Ranger? And I was walking, you know, he's just a little baby beagle, and then he turns his head this way, and I'm like, he went this way, and sure enough, Ranger was right down the street.
Wow.
Like smelling up to some fence. It was wild. I was like, wow, I'm gonna keep you for a little while.
Yeah. Fighting rod dog.
All right, so like I said, I was going to introduce you to him a little bit later. This is Spartacus, who is a terrier, and anyone that knows terriers knows they love to lick. He is also 14 years old. He's an old man. Some of you just saw that he is missing some tooths. Some chiclets are missing because he's so old. But he is, like I said earlier, from the Humane Society. And I discovered him because his kennel was so high, and they kept him in like a glass kennel on the inside, that you couldn't see the dog that was in there. But he would stand on his hind legs with his paws on the window and just stare at everybody on his two back legs. And then when I walked up, he took his paws off the window and was still on his hind legs, like walking backwards. Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's the guy. That's the one right there.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, look at my tricks, exactly. So if the radio audience can't see, if you're not on YouTube, follow us on YouTube at the TheSadFan Podcast Network. But if you can't see, he looks like Tramp from Lady and the Tramp, especially when he's well groomed. And he's a gray hair now. He used to be more of a sandy color, but now he is gray haired Spartacus, and he just goes by Sparty, and he will not stop licking.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
I have two questions, but the first one, have you made a soul contract with your dog?
No, what's that all about?
And so I realized my dog is 9 and he's a German, well, he'll be 9 in July, and he's a German Shepherd, and German Shepherds don't live past 10. Like 10 is the normal expectancy. And so I've told him when he comes back to me in another life, or maybe this life, that he'll have a ball in his mouth, and that's how I'll know, like, that's the dog.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And so he'll find me, you know.
Okay. I'll sell mine.
All dogs go
in the
to
next
heaven.
life.
Thank you, did.
In the next life, you'll be holding a sword, and you'll have a cape and a motorcycle. That way, I'll know it's him.
Wait a second.
Wait a second. What did George tell you? He'd be like, okay, I'll have the ball, and you have to have a hat with me on it.
You gotta be holding a treat.
I just said,
you gotta be holding a treat.
When you come back, your soul comes back, you'll find me, and you'll have a ball in your mouth, and that's how I'll know it's you.
That's what's up.
So, like, I'm gonna wait to get another dog until I find a dog that is random and comes up to me with a ball in his mouth or their mouth.
Yeah, I do like that. I'd be interested in working on that with the pup. It might be conflicting with my philosophy. Like, if there's reincarnation, there's like bugs or whatever, bacteria, and then you move up the chain of existence, and at some point we're humans, and if we're good humans, I think dog is the last stage before nirvana. So, like, in this dog's next life, he's going straight nirvana. Like, imagine being such a good person that you get to become a dog in your next life with a good family and just, like, eat treats and get fat all day. Like, that's the highest form of existence.
This dog just laid right back at my feet after I moved him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, I mean, anyway. That's a tangent. Cool. Well, let's go with, what was your idea about dogs having, dogs talking dogs?
Question? Yeah, so the other question I have is, if your dog had a voiceover, who would be their voiceover? What actor, what famous voice would be theirs?
So Spartacus would be Sean Connery, for sure.
Oh yes.
and cool. Moxie would be Sandy Bullock.
Ooh, really?
Sandy Bullock.
That would be Moxie.
That's good.
Do you have one for Avalanche?
I've been going over it. Maybe it's not quite right, but I'm thinking like young Kevin Bacon.
Okay.
Like when he's like
A Few Good Men.
Kind of amped up. When he's kind of
like
amped
Footloose?
up. Hey!
Footloose Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's quite
Tremors?
right, though.
Maybe Tremors Kevin Bacon?
When he's got a little bit of excitement in him and he's talking fast.
His ass.
Like, yeah, I think maybe. Because I'm reminded of like that when we saw Planes, Trains in the beginning, there's Kevin Bacon and he gives him that look right before they start racing. That's what I get from him whenever I'm trying to catch him because he's ran away. He lets me get like 6 feet. Gives me 6 feet, gives me a little look, and he's like, and then he's,
You thought you had me. You thought wrong.
What about you, Brooke?
Goodness. I actually got to meet this guy. He's the Allstate man, Dennis.
Oh, I know exactly. The second you said it, I knew exactly.
That's totally Ranger.
We should go for
I love that.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm in good hands.
Yep.
You smell that? Smell that? Do you smell that? That's the best one. That's the best one.
That would be fantastic.
The beagle that I had, I always said that his voiceover would be specifically Joe Dirt, David Spade and Joe Dirt. Like, for real. He was
things are gonna happen for me.
Hey!
Boy, oh boy.
And you down there, let me see them boobies.
Yeah, that was him.
That's awesome.
I do give him a voice, Avalanche, and it's kind of like he has like it's a one word. He just goes, huh. And that's for like, do you have food? What did you say? Where are you going? It's the same sound. It's always, huh, but it has so many meanings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's
do you? I kind of think this would be a cool way to end this because it got a little low at some points. I didn't expect it to go in the lower directions. I thought we were all going to be happy and chipper, but you know what? That's kind of life. That's kind of life. Is we need these animals because our life can get low and. And it's not codependency, it's co-op living, right? We're living with each other. We're helping them. They're helping us. It's a trade-off. But I think it'd be a cool last question of, do you have a cute voice that you talk to your dogs in?
Oh, buddy.
Is that really a question? Because yes.
Can I hear it?
Oh, wait. We have to make a sentence. We all have to say the same sentence and see how it sounds. So what's the sentence we have to say?
No, just do the one you normally say to your dog. Like you do your own sentence, yeah.
Okay. Shit. I gotta get in the mode for a second. Hold, give me a second to get in the zone because I don't remember how it.
So I like to use the word frickin' a lot when I'm playing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Give me that frickin' rat. Give me that frickin' rat.
Do the voice better. Lead into it, Brooke. I want to hear it.
Give me that frickin' rat.
There it is.
Come on, get that frickin' rat. He's looking at me right now. He's laying on the ground. And he's like, "You want me to get a frickin' rat?"
I'll do it.
Get it to me.
I will
right
go find
now.
that rat. I guess for Avalanche it'd be like more of like a Avalanche. Hey, stupid! What are you doing?
Yeah.
He's a good boy. Oh, that's a good boy. And then I kiss him a lot.
Moxie,
Oh,
for Moxie, it's hey there, fat girl. How you doing, fat mama? How you doing, fat mama?
She just sits there like this. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's shaking back at me, and I'm shaking back at her, and yeah. And then with Spartacus, it's hey, boo boo. How you doing, boo boo? You doing okay, boo boo?
Different voices
both
for different dogs. That's great.
Yeah. They both know their little voice and when they're getting talked to.
I'd like to do a little booby dooby. You Scooby Wooby Dooby Wooby.
Oh, I go. And I rub my face against his chest and stuff. I motorboat him.
I also do this stupid hand motion all the time. Give me that freaking ball. I don't know why, but I do.
You're like an old witch.
That dog's happy as shit whenever you do it too. That dog's shaking his tail.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna give you that freaking ball.
Oh, I do like to do this one too. Just when it catches attention, I go, huh, huh, huh. And he does it back, and then we have fun.
We have playtime.
Yeah. The side eye.
I love it. I think we're gonna have to do this again, and maybe just like we'll try to keep it on the best them, and really focus on these little dorks and what they do in their life.
Yeah. Occasionally you can catch some Avalanche videos on our TikTok. That's at GORP Show. Or at GORP Show on the Twitter. You might catch a little bit of Avalanche and our other activities. But yeah, GORP in general, catch us on YouTubes, and we're all over the place. TheSadFan podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Brooke. You can catch me at BurgerLoves, TikTok, Instagram. Maybe Twitter.
And as you see Brooke doing her, give me that ball, give me that freaking ball, while she's giving you her handles. You could reach us at TheSadFan Cast on Twitter, and you could reach me at TheSadFan12.
Holla, 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 holla.